एको viśuddhabodho'hamiti इति niścayavahninā prajvālyājñānagahanaṃ vītaśokaḥ sukhī bhava. Having thus burnt down the forest of ignorance with the fire of certitude, I am the one pure consciousness, and discarding all grief, be happy. The ultimate creativity in Ashtavakra brings about a very unique analogy to describe the essence of this verse in a very beautiful manner. What comes to our imagination when we think about forest? A thick jungle full of trees, bushes spread around, apparently seemingly with no beginning and seemingly with no end. No proper route to walk through to progress in our journey, and also sometimes filling us with fear caused to the wild wind, sometimes with which the trees and the branches move here and there, and the trees shaking, making a big noise, fearful noise. Fear of strange other sounds of different known, unknown creatures. And amidst all these things, one gets stuck up into the forest and does not know how to come out of the forest to the open space where there is light and where there is no fear. Ignorance of Jiva and the after effect of the ignorance of Jiva is compared to such a forest situation in this verse by the great master Ashtavakra. Ignorance, once it takes over the Jiva completely, fills his thoughts, fills his environment, fills his very identity with such thick layers of attachment and desire, liking and hatred, which envelops him, which darkens his vision. He is trapped in this forest of ignorance with trees of attachment, desire, and sometimes or many times even fear of change. His intellect becomes dull, inactive. His peace is lost. He is stuck up. He has no clue how to come out of such horrible life from the jungle of ego, with the colorings of ego, kleshas. What is the solution? Suppose if you are caught up in fire, any other talk or any other solution is of no use. except the efforts to extinguish the fire. If you are caught up in a jungle, forest, with no clue how to come out of it, then possibly, howsoever difficult it seems to be, the only possible solution is to clear the forest, to burn down the trees with fire, so that you come to an open space and you are out of fear once for all. Similarly, here, the prescribed solution to come out of the forest of ignorance, avidya, is to lit up the fire of faith, wisdom, that I am pure self, I am pure consciousness. Note the similarity in the way the verses are built up. In the last verse, the preceptor said, only way to come out of a poisonous effect of the bite of the black cobra, I am the doer, is to drink the nectar, I am not the doer. For getting rid of this notion, I am the doer, only solution is to equip yourself with the wisdom, I am not the doer. For getting rid of I am the doer, you have to believe I am not the doer. Same way, he teaches here in this verse that only way to escape from the forest of ignorance is to clear the forest by the fire of something opposite to ignorance, that is, by the fire of wisdom. I am not the doer is the cure for I am the doer. The fire of wisdom is the only cure for the forest of ignorance. This may look simple, but this is the core essence of Vedanta, which takes several years, decades, births to achieve. Because the difference between the forest and getting stuck up in the forest and getting engulfed by ignorance, getting entrapped in ignorance is that when you are stuck up in the forest, you know that there is no way not to know or to be ignorant about the danger of being stuck up in the forest. You know that you have lost the track. You know that you don't know how to proceed. You know that there may be animals, there may be dangerous creatures. And you know that at the night time when the wind blows and the leaves shake, it can fill you with fear. You know that at night time when the owl makes noise, it is bound to fill you with fear. So the danger is very clear to you. But on the contrary, the one difference here in the forest of ignorance is that for a long time, maybe for few or several births, you continue to live in the forest of ignorance without knowing that you are entrapped, without knowing that you have lost your path. in your goal to realization. You may live happily, apparently, for ages together in this forest of ignorance. This is the difference between the forest, real forest, getting stuck up in the real forest and getting stuck up, entrapped in the forest of ignorance. So, very often, the thought that you are really stuck up in this forest of ignorance, this thought can come to you only when in a chosen birth you really think and you really believe that the happiness which you are experiencing is coming and going. There is something beyond this permanent happiness. And when you start searching for that permanent happiness, your guru knocks your door. The situation comes in such a way that you end up at the feet of your guru. Chosen by you or chosen by God. Chosen by God, accepted by you. Then he tells you that you are really stuck up. What you have been thinking that you are leading a happy life is actually getting stuck up in the forest of ignorance. And many births you have wasted, my child. Come, I will help you in lighting up the fire of certitude that I am not this ignorant Biyamai, I am verily the pure self. And once you get a guru walking into your life, and once he teaches you what is the real happiness, what is the source for real happiness, and once you are convinced about his teachings, even then, any guru for that matter, even then, if you continue to live in the forest of ignorance, choosing to loosen Guru's grip and to get away from his grip and to live in the forest of ignorance like living in the belly of a shark, suited and booted, then even God Almighty stands helpless. Even he cannot help you to cross this ocean of samsara. Chinmaya's commentary, couple of lines from his commentary. On transcending the body-mind equipment, the seeker in meditation comes to experience I am the one pure consciousness. This happens when you get into Shravana Manana Nididhyasana based on Guru's teachings or teachings of scriptures. When a seeker gets himself established in the experience of pure consciousness, the fire of the certitude declares Ashtavakra shall burn down the forest of ignorance within the meditator. And talking about grief, Chinmaya writes, grief is the mental condition when a dear object possessed by it comes to decay. Joy and grief, happiness and sorrow are all emotions and sentiments experienced by the mind. In pure consciousness, we have transcended the mind and therefore we automatically go beyond all grief. Attaining to this state of the self, Ashtavakra says, sukhī bhava, be happy.